It's not often before coming out and making one of these videos that I need to check that I've got health insurance, but today I might just need it. This is Ebisu Circuit, the largest drifting racetrack in all of Japan, high up in the mountains of Fukushima. If I was ever looking to commit a heist, this would be the place I'd come headhunting for a getaway driver. Ebisu Circuit is where the best drivers from across Japan descend for a daredevil adrenaline rush that makes a mockery of even the most extreme roller coasters. Today we've travelled here into the mountains 2 hours north of Tokyo to try to understand why drifting has become a national obsession, to hear from the drivers consumed by it, and to experience it for the first time ourselves. This is insane! Complete disregard for health and safety. Just standing here I feel like I need insurance, let alone being in the car. So they come up this straight at 165 kilometers an hour and drift round a corner. What scares me the most is this barrier that I'm standing behind. Look down here. A car has actually bumped into this. So it's not the most reassuring place to stand, but you can smell the burning tyres as the cars drift past. Drifting's always had something of a bad boy image in Japan, given it has its roots in illegal street racing. But the story of drifting didn't start entirely on the streets. In the 1970s, a professional motorcyclist and car racing driver, Kunimitsu Takahashi, turned the poor grip of his tyres to his advantage by coaxing his Nissan Skyline into a slide before the apex of a corner and powering out on the straight with a high exit speed. Mastering the technique gave him the edge over his rivals, who were unable to match the speed when turning the corners, leading to repeated victories at the All Japan Touring Championship. But whilst Kunimitsu Takahashi is referred to as the father of drifting, he's not the king. That title goes to Keiichi Tsuchiya, who's literally known as Dorikin, the Drift King, the legendary figure who really put drifting on the map. Keiichi started out on mountain roads as a street racer known as Hashiriya in Japanese, and was inspired by Takashi's drift technique, which gave him the edge while racing up on the mountain passes. Before, professional racers were typically from wealthy backgrounds and learned on racing circuits, but Keiichi was from a more humble background and learned to race on the streets before going on to compete professionally. It was this background that was instrumental in encouraging younger drivers from working class backgrounds to get up into the mountains and hone their skills like their idol. In the 90s, Keiichi's legend played a role in inspiring a hugely popular manga comic series called Initial D, which he himself worked on as an editorial supervisor. Initial D helped bring drifting to the mainstream within Japan and led to a new generation of films that brought the drifting subculture to a global audience. But even if you've never heard of any of these things, hopefully you know about drifting from Mario Kart, where everybody knows drifting is the secret to successfully winning any race. As luck would have it, the day we're filming we run into Alexi Smith, an Australian drift fanatic who runs one of the most popular drifting channels in the world, NORIYARYO. If anybody can explain the appeal behind drifting, it's him.
Drifting is, well, you're doing everything you're not supposed to be doing. You know when you watch a motorsport show and you see the introduction of the show and they show a bunch of little highlights and clips? What do they show you?
Crashes.
Crashes and cars sliding around and sliding and spinning in smoke. Drifting is that, is a highlight reel all the time. Imagine all of a sudden, you know, whatever hobby you have, you were told that, hey, if you go to this weird place in the other side of the world, you can do that hobby all day, as much as you like, with absolute freedom. Right. That's the appeal.
Many drivers buy their cars at Ebisu Racetrack, where they can keep it in storage and finally sell it back, or what's left of it at the end of it all. Adam from Sydney is on holiday in Japan for 2 weeks. 1 week spent sightseeing and the other drifting. So how long have you had this car, Adam?
3 years now.
And today it met its demise?
Yeah, just driving too hard, I guess. wear and tear. So
what are you going to do with it now?
I've sold it actually back to power vehicles now.
It's a pretty cool concept though, right? The idea that you come here, you can buy a car, store it here, then when you come back you can use it and then destroy it.
Yeah.
Is this bit here like burnt?
Yeah, that's from the first fire.
The first fire. So do you think this is an expensive hobby?
You don't go into drifting to be rich. When you consider a set of tyres is about $200 or so, and you can go through 2 sets a day.
So what kind of career do you have to fund something like this?
Yeah, I work in IT.
IT. Do that, ladies and gentlemen, IT. Work hard behind the computer, then come out to Japan and blow it all on lovely cars.
Up in smoke.
Up in smoke, literally, yeah. So for a beginner, and there's probably people watching this that might just want to come up and drive, don't have any qualifications, myself included. What are the rules? What do you need before you can come up here and actually start racing and drifting around the track?
Absolutely nothing. You don't need any licenses or anything like that. All you need is nothing. You need a car and you pay the entry fee and just be over 16, I think it is, and that's it.
What are we waiting for? I tick all the boxes, although I know I would kill lots of people.
Look, what I recommend you do first is maybe not go driving first, maybe go for a passenger ride first. I have a friend that you need to ride with.
So Alexi's friend is going to drive me around the track. He's secretly loving this. Look at the little smile on his face. All part of his plan to get me killed.
Let's see what's going to happen.
He's the boss of a former Tokyo street drifting team called Side Attack. Ri-chan.
Welcome, dangerous drive.
Very reassuring. Right then, let's do it. Bloody hell, the car in front of us just crashed. That's not what I want to see right now. Shit!
It's gonna die!
This is insane! I genuinely can't feel my face. Jesus, that car is precariously close. Amazing! Psycho でした。
How'd the filming go?
Probably the most fun I've ever had in my life.
How did you feel about that?
That was so good.
Was it fun?
Such a good driver. It felt unreal. It felt like I was in a VR headset or something. Because the helmet had me completely sealed in. I couldn't really hear much apart from the screeching of the car. Right. It's just that feeling of having cars next to you. They look like they're about to crash. Like some of them did crash. There was smoke coming out. It was just insane. It really was. I'm going to give up YouTube. This is the day I give up YouTube and become a drift driver.
Drift racer.
Because I want to be able to do that.
ドリフトを始めたのは25年前です。なぜドリフトをやったかというと、そのストリート峠で走り屋を見てすごいかっこいいと思ってやってみたいと思って始めました。ドリフトしてる瞬間っていうのは時間を忘れて集中できるっていうことですかね。はい。
Just Takahashi-san's level of control and intuition, driving at 160 kilometers per hour while sandwiched between half a dozen cars. It really is incredible. I have a lot of respect for him, and I'm also quite envious because I wish I could do it as well. Next up, it was Ryotaro's turn to be thrown around like a dog toy, and this time we'd be passengers in what might be the world's most extreme taxi ride. How you feel?
Excited! Look at this.
This like a real. It looks like a real taxi, and they've got you know that what the lights on the top.
Yeah.
Same the team orange. That's his team there. It's got like team orange on the park car there as well. And he's like a professional D1, a drift one driver, and he travels around the world doing drift. Sit down, please. Are we ready? Yes, let's do it!
It's intense, and it is scary, but it's still not as scary as Ryotaro's driving.
No, I'm safe driver. I have never experienced anything like this. So, we just finished driving, the drifting, and look at the tire, what's happening here. It's actually, this is like almost evidence of how fast and how crazy he drives on this mountain road. Today, it rained this morning, so they didn't use it, but on a sunny day, tires burn a lot faster. So what they do is they've got this little tank here, water tank, and there's a switch in the front. You turn it on, and what they do is actually they're going to this is going to spray the tires to cool the tires down. Incredible, isn't it?
ドリフトを始めたきっかけは、実は私の父が、バイクショップを、九州の方でやってまして、で小さな頃から、バイクのレースをずっとやってたんですけれども、ちょうど20歳ぐらいの時に、たまたまドリフトを見て、であまりの衝撃にバイクをやめて、ドリフトを始めたっていうような流れです。ドリフトの魅力はですね、僕が、思うに、子供から、お年寄りの方まで、見て一瞬でわあすごいって思えるところが、他のモータースポーツにない面白さじゃないかなと思ってます。
You know what? I'm a little bit disappointed in myself today. Many of my friends actually do drifting, and over the years they've invited me to come along and join in. But I've always been very dismissive and very narrow-minded. I just sort of say, well, drifting, isn't that just going round the corner really fast? But when you're sandwiched between two other cars going 100 miles per hour, pressed into the back of your seat, hoping the car won't lose control, and smoke billows in through the window from the smouldering tyres below, it's hard to deny that drifting is one of the most exhilarating experiences you can have. And I can see now why people obsess over it so damn much. I can see why people love it. Ebisu Circuit is one hell of a place. There's nowhere else quite like it in all of North Japan. There's also no accommodation, so if you do plan to visit, there's some fantastic hot springs around the area that do speak English and even allow tattoos. You can find a list of options as well as where to find Ebisu Circuit in the description box below. Drifting, one word, how would you summarise your experience today?
Gravity.
Gravity?
That's what it is. That's what I had. I mean, felt. G's, right?
And a huge thanks to Alexei, who by just sheer luck was here today. He is one of the #1 channels on drifting in Japan. I mean, we've just come here as beginners, but he knows pretty much everything going on. So check his channel out if you want to know more. But for now, many thanks for watching. We'll see you next time to do it all over again. Now we have to endure the real horror, Ryotaro's drive home.
On public
Scarier
road.
than any drift.
On public road and drifting.
Might actually crash.